This is me making some reflection after the podcast about names, because that really resonates with me. I had a discussion with a lady 2 weeks ago who is Afro-Caribbean, and her last name reflects a name of people who took her great-great-grandparents as slaves. And now she went and does a DNA test because she wants to know where her heritage is, where she comes from, where her line began in Africa. And she discovers that she's 50% Nigerian, about 20% Sierra Leonean, and I think also 20% from the Maasai people. And she was really very happy, but on the other hand, she was also sad, like, how is she ever going to trace that? So now she has to pay the great-great-great-grandchildren of those who took her great-great-great forebearers to Europe or to South America. She has to pay them because those are the people who are now doing the DNA ancestry stuff. She has to still pay those people to discover where she might come from. Her name is now, his last name derives from Scotland, a black woman tracing her roots back to Scotland because that's where our oppressors came from. So if somebody had allowed them to keep their names, it would be easy for a lot of African Americans now to trace their roots back to where they came from. They would not be paying the children of oppressors now to go and do some DNA tests. But you do DNA tests, it just throws you into an ocean, pardon my pun there, and just says, yeah, just go and search yourself. Oh yeah, you are 30% Nigeria. Nigeria is a big country. You are 50% Sudanese. It doesn't say really much. But if somebody has a name like Nyerere, then you can narrow it down and say, hey, this person comes from somewhere in Tanzania, and probably there is a tribe there that uses the name Nyerere. If somebody says my name is Lumumba, then you can trace it back to like Congo, and there will be a particular ethnic group there where that name means something, and then you can really narrow it down. Sometimes when people say, yeah, but forget the past, the children of nowadays, they are not responsible for what happened in the past, I'm like, they are still profiting, because the children of enslaved people are paying children of their oppressors to do some DNA tests. They are still profiting in many ways, but that's a discussion that will be for another day. Those of us who were lucky enough to grow up in Africa, we need to also honor those people that were taken away by restoring the names that we are given as Africans, names that give us pride. Who cares if somebody says your name is difficult? Let them try. We spend all our school days pronouncing European names, so let them do the same. We need to normalize our names. It's a pity. I've had this kind of discussion with a lot of friends who have had to change their names to European or Islamic names. You don't see a Japanese going by the name of whatever. They just keep their names and we try to pronounce it. Or Chinese. There is something in our mindset as Africans that just says, you know what, let me just take some other identity. But like I said in the podcast, it's a short term, and we are not thinking straight when we do that, because we have a short-time gain, but we lose a lot in the future. the way we are going, in about 200-300 years' time, we will not be able to trace anything because we still want to bow down to the master. We think everything that is foreign is better than ours. We should not be like that. I've always said one of the best decisions my father took when I was being baptized as a Christian, as a baby, as a kid, was he decided, that's mostly the time when somebody opens the Bible, the pastor, and says, now you're going to be Peter, James, Paul, Daniel, or something. But my father insisted that the name he gave me, the African name he gave me, was going to also be my baptismal name. Yeah, okay, I left religion a long time ago, so everything worked out fine for me the way it is. When I say this, I'm one of the lucky ones because in the same vein, I could have been an Adam or whatever name some church will give to me. And also, on my mother's side, we are Muslims. So, in African tradition, they give both Muslim names and Christian names. But those, I was left alone. And I'm saying this, I'm not pointing fingers, but I'm just saying, if you have that, you are first of all an African, and then you are your religion. That's how you have to say it. First of all, you are a human being, and you come from somewhere. That's who you are. Your religion is two. And I understand that a lot of people think, and they say that God is number one. Yes. But Adam is not God. James is not God. Those names are not God's names. Those are Christian names. Those are European names. And if God created everyone in his own true color, he will not mind that you are saying, when you are sitting at the table and they are saying, hey, where are you from? What's your name? That you can say, this is my name. I'm Selo. I am Undabuza. For those who already have European names that they cannot change, or Arabic names they cannot change, just think a bit when you are having children. Give them back their African names. You can always have the African name and the Islamic or the Buddhist or Christian name as middle name, to also, because that's who you are now if you want that. But it's this thing about emphasizing other people's religion, other people's culture, and other people's things. That's why Africa and Africans are still below in the hierarchy of humans, which places Europeans at the top and we at the bottom. Because we throw everything that's ours away very easily. Those are the things that we need to do, because otherwise we just lose our identity. And I'm really very afraid we are on a big road to losing it. Until the next time, this is Femi Soewu for Africa Web TV. Take good care of yourself. It's time to reflect. Don't forget to comment on the video. Bye.
I'm a king, yes, I'm a king, I think I'm a king,